He is not a citizen of Pakistan. Thereafter he becomes a citizen of Pakistan.
My lord.
So वो भी permanent disqualification as per Samuel case.
My lord, if I can, I was going to proceed step by step, but let me say this. The way I read Samiullah Baloch, I don't see it as laying down a permanent disqualification. It only lays down, in my humble reading, an indefinite disqualification. And that can come to an end. The problem with Samiullah Baloch is it doesn't discuss the mechanism for that. And I will be making submissions on that. So, and that's why I'm saying that for me, Samiullah Baloch, I can just state my view on this. Samiullah Baloch need not be overruled, but there are problems with it which can be fixed. I don't see it as laying down a permanent disqualification, but as an indefinite disqualification, and that indefinite disqualification can come to an end. The problem is Samiullah Baloch doesn't deal with that mechanism. I will make some submissions on that, and those are for your lordship.
This is a new novel point,
my lord. But I will, because I'm here in a neutral capacity. Yes. I will also make submissions on what happens if your lordships choose to overrule Samiullah Baloch. My lord. Well, the point, the historical context, the other point is that subsequent to the 18th Amendment also, there have been various constitutional amendments. We have 25 or 26 now. And this, despite the fact that the court's unease with this lifetime ban was evident in 2018 and onwards, no constitutional amendment ever chose to deal with this issue. Even though this was something, the disqualification of politicians or those running for a parliamentary office is something that affected Parliament directly. But nonetheless, the Parliament chose not to deal with it. So, my lord,
would it be because एक वो उन्होंने लैंग्वेज चेंज कर दी थी वो ओथ में, तो पूरा पाकिस्तान को बंद कर दिया, तो हो सकता है उन्होंने कहा इसको छोड़ ही दें, ये भी तो हो सकता है ना, क्योंकि लोग जब होते हैं ना, what word should be used for them who don't want to follow the legal or constitutional path but want to impose their will on the state. So, but the state is still cognizant of the fact who will deal with these people.
My lord, if one could go back in time, one could want to change a lot of things. As Ghalib said, वो हर एक बात पे कहना कि यूं होता तो क्या होता, we don't know कि क्या होता. We are stuck with the letter of the law, right? What as it is, and we have to deal with that. Whether that is how it came about. So my lord,
हम आपसे सुनना चाहते हैं कि अब होगा तो कैसे होगा?
My lord, yes. I mean, I don't think a lifetime ban ought to be there, frankly, and I don't think the way I read it, Samiullah
be there or should not be there.
Should not be there. It should not be there. But I have tried, and as will be evident from my submissions, to find a way out from on the basis of Samiullah Baloch, and I'll say that. My lord, and this fact that Parliament chose not to deal with this issue through the 18th Amendment is actually considered in Samiullah Baloch itself. Your lordships may just note paras 17 and 23. Para 17 at 432 and para 23 at 436. And it becomes actually very clear from para 9 of Justice Azmat Saeed's separate note. Very clearly says that, well, this is what Parliament has done, and why are you asking us to change? And those of us, my lord, who knew Justice Azmat Saeed in his personal capacity knew that there is a touch of exasperation in what he's written in para 9. So this is the key. My lord, my submission is, what has Samiullah Baloch actually done? It has interpreted these words, and my lord the Chief Justice asked this question, what do these words mean? There being no declaration to the contrary by a court of law. What Samiullah Baloch has done is that it has linked the disqualification to the declaration by the court, and extrapolated from that since the basis of the disqualification or lack of qualification is the declaration by the court, therefore it should be coterminous with the decree itself, the declaration by the court itself. So long as the decree continues, the judgment continues, the disqualification continues. So if there is some way to end the effect of the decree, the disqualification will also end. That's the logical consequence. Samiullah Baloch in para 35 alludes to this, touches upon this, but then doesn't really go on and explain this. So, my lord, so I will come back to this, but one point, as I said, your lordships are sitting in a larger bench. Your lordships can obviously revisit Samiullah Baloch. Should it be revisited? My lord, the argument for its overruling or revisiting it is weighty. I don't dispute that. But in my humble opinion, even without overruling Samiullah Baloch, a way out can be found. And why do I say that, my lord? Why do I say that Samiullah Baloch should not be overruled? My lord, the prime argument that I am aware of, and I heard bits and pieces during the live broadcast a day ago, was that 62.1F should be read along with 63.1H. And reading them, this seems to be the main argument. This argument was considered in Samiullah Baloch in great detail in paras 27 to 32, pages 438 to 442. And they said that it was held that these two are separate. Qualifications and disqualifications are separate, and we can't use them. An expression that I have used earlier also before, my lord, is that in my view they are like Siamese twins. Siamese twins are joined at the hip, so they are one for many purposes, but actually they are two separate persons, two separate entities. So they are separate for some purposes and they are joined for some purposes. For example, your lordship, the Article 100 of the Constitution talks about the qualifications for the Attorney General, and those have been interpreted, Article 100 has been interpreted to mean that only the qualifications given in Article 62 shall apply, or for the qualifications required of a judge of the Supreme Court in that case will apply, and not the disqualifications. Why not in Rafiq Tarar's case, PLD 1998, Lahore 461.
PLD
1998, Lahore 461. It was a full bench decision of the Lahore High Court. Just note, I'm not. There the question was that Article 41 says the president has to have the qualifications for a same qualifications as a member of. Out as I see it, and which something Samiullah Baloch doesn't deal with, is exactly because of this, that if this is established, that there is genuine repentance, there is, and penance has been paid, then the effect of the declaration can come to an end. And
then again we are reading words into the Constitution.
My lord, that is something, my lord, it's a question of interpretation. It is the question of interpretation. And my lord,
I earlier posed a question. If I was the author of Imagine, it's not been written yet, Samiullah Baloch, and I'm hearing it for the first time, and I said it should be a 2-year ban. So it's entirely up to me what I do.
I'm not saying that there should be a fixed plan. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm just saying what is the test before me? It's not because Samiullah Baloch has held this. That's the end of story. No, there must be a logical reasoning behind it, reaching that conclusion. So I'm saying, if I was the author, I say, if that is 5 years, I do 5 years. Or I say that is much more serious, I do 2 years. So it's entirely my discretion, unguided by any legal concept or constitution.
I'm not in favor of that at all. I'm not advocating that.
So it would be as valid a judgment as Samiullah Baloch.
No, my lord, I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. I am not saying that the judges should have a carte blanche to write whatever they want. Whatever they write has to be
guiding principle. Bataiye na hame.
So Mr. Uzair, your principle is that one principle or way out is that if there is a declaration, it could be washed away through penance and repentance immediately, whenever given. So if the declaration is given today, in 1 hour I submit an affidavit of repentance, the matter comes to an end, or is there a time frame?
No, my lord.
How will that work?
As they say, my lord, the devil is always in the details. My lord, 62(1)(f encapsulates 5 different concepts. Like, for example, there is a requirement that the candidate be non-profligate. Now, profligacy, the simple meaning is, spendthrift. You wasteful of resources.
Yes.
No.
Now, that's something that's probably easier to
Suppose
fix.
the declaration is that there was a misdeclaration in a form which has left the declaration, then there is no direct declaration in any case. We're assuming that the declaration is that you're not honest because you're... So next day he comes and says, I'm very sorry, this will never happen again, sir. I'll never misdeclare ever. And he's repented. What else would you want him to do?
My lord, because the first, I don't agree with what your lordship has said in the first part of your statement. The fact that there is a form and there is something wrong with that is not enough. That is not enough to disqualify him.
That's happening in all these cases.
No.
There is no declaration. The declaration is based on a construction. It says that the form is incorrect, the assets form is not incorrect, you've left out this paragraph, you've done this, that's all there is that they discover. And then they build it on that. They say, because this is omitted, you are not a mean. That's the declaration in every case.
But we are, your lordships and your ladyship are here precisely to see whether that's right or not.
No, so that's,
and I'm saying
that's a separate...
That's not.
Are here to see, but to
That's
be
not.
assisted by you.
Mr. Uzair, that's a separate basket of questions here. Then whether at all in any of these cases so far till date, is there a declaration looking straight into your eyes saying you're not honest because of the following issues? No, it's not. Nobody's saying that. One is just building, and that's what Samuel Baloch also says. You'll have to construe from the facts and you say that you're not honest.
My lord, इसीलिए मैंने कहा था कि वो आप मुझे page 6 पे ले गए मेरे notes के. If I had gone through pages 2, 3 and 4, maybe I would have been able to make some submissions on that.